Welcome back, boys and girls. Happy Monday. So, last week we worked on starting opinion papers. And why we write opinion papers is we want to convince the person why our opinion is right. And we want them to maybe do something that we want them to do or something that we believe in. It is not fact. It is our opinion, what we believe. Last week we talked about video games or board games. Miss Dixon wanted to convince you that I believed board games were better than video games. And of course, we're also making sure that when we are convincing the reader what we believe, that we are using information from the text that we read. That's very important for this lesson. So the prompt today is, and you are going to be deciding which one you want. Should children be allowed to have their own cell phones? So you are going to be writing a paper today and Wednesday that will be due on Sunday on should children be allowed to have their own cell phone. Remember, I'm going to review from last week. Opinion. So remember, we went through the Oreo method. The O stands for stating our opinion. And here are some sentence starters for you that you'll be able to use for your paper. Then we have the R. We are stating our reasons, and we'll state 3 reasons from the article that we believe kids should or should not have their own cell phones. E is we are going to give examples of our reason. And there's some sentence starters for you that you can go and refer back to. And then O, Oreo, O-R-E-O, is restating your opinion again. So you really convince that reader what you believe is true. So our 4th grade opinion paper. Your job today is you're going to be reading the 2 cell phone articles. I'm going to read it once, and each of them once, and so you can follow along. You feel free to take notes as I'm reading, but when you do your own paper on slide 5, I'm going to have you reread the paper or the article. You know how important it is to reread the article because you might find different information. But feel free to be thinking in your mind as I'm reading, what is your opinion? Then you can list your reasons, and maybe you'll even find some of the examples that you want to use from the article. All right, here we go. First article, are kids and cell phones a good mix? Are kids and cell phone a good mix? Look around. Cell phones can be found in the hands of almost every adult. These phones are a major part of daily life. They are so common that many homes do not have a home phone line anymore. More and more children, even kindergartners, have their own devices. But is it a good idea for kids to have phones? Several factors should be taken into consideration before a child is given a phone. Pros. So this is who is for it. Cell phones provide quick access to information for homework, help, or finding directions. Many phones can be tracked so parents know their children's location. Parents can set limits and restrictions so phone use doesn't get out of hand. When plans change, children and parents can stay in touch easily. More pros continued. They provide a quick and easy way to make emergency calls. Phones help teach responsibility, self-discipline, and time management. Cons. This is against it. Children could be exposed to inappropriate material. Phones make it easier to cheat in school. They can be expensive, especially if the child goes over the rate limits. Children can be easily distracted by their phones. Children talk less with their peers using face-to-face communication and text instead. Children socialize less while hanging out because they are on their individual phones. Cyberbullying, such as sending messages and receiving inappropriate messages, can happen more frequently. So that's one of the articles. Are you deciding what you believe? Do you think that kids should have a cell phone, or do you feel kids should not have a cell phone? What is your opinion? And remember, you feel free to be taking some notes. Next one, child cell phone use on the rise. More and more children have their own cell phones these days. In a survey, 77% of people got their cell phones between the ages of 10 and 17. Cell phones are so popular for kids because all the benefits they provide. Many parents give children phones so they can stay in constant contact with each other. But before buying that shiny new device, parents should decide if their child is ready for the responsibility. For example, cell phones can be very distracting for children. Activities on the phone can seem more important than studying, homework, or even crossing the street. Studies have shown that a child who is talking, or texting on a cell phone is more likely to be hit by a car while crossing the street. Cell phones can cause people to become obsessed with technology. To avoid this, parents must set responsible rules and limits for their children. Some people think that phones encourage selfishness among kids. If children get new phones at 8 or 9, they will want new cars at age 16. Will they expect new houses at 21? Parents should also look at the positive impact a phone can have for their child. Cell phones connect children to their friends and can boost social interaction. Technology is the main way teens and tweens communicate. They invite others to parties, events, and other social gatherings using technology. Some youth even complain that being phoneless is like living in social darkness. So having a cell phone can actually increase face-to-face meetings. There are other benefits to owning a phone. Cell phones with internet access can be used to find answers to homework questions. Also, in an emergency, a child with a cell phone can get help more quickly than another who does not have a cell phone. So that's the second article that has some different points of view. Now, your job today, right after this lesson, Miss Dixon is going to share this with you. So I'm going to share it on your email. Just like we did last week, you're going to have to make a copy. Now, what I'd like you to finish is, this is slide number 5. I would like you to finish this by Wednesday, because on Wednesday, I'm going to go into more detail on writing your paper from this template. You are going to be answering the question, my opinion is children should have a cell phone, or children should not have a cell phone. Then you're going to use linking words and phrases to connect your opinion and reasons. Because, therefore, example, for instance, in addition, since. So my first linking word might be for example. Well, I'll show you mine in just a second, but you're going to use your linking words, then your reason that you're supporting your fact or your detail. So you're going to hit reason 1, and then you're going to give your example. Then you're going to do your next linking word, reason 2, and then your example. Then your linking word for reason 3 and what it is, and then your example, and then your concluding statement. We did this last week, I know, but I just wanted to go over it. Now, you'll see the next slide says, stop here. We will finish the rest of the lesson on Wednesday. Do not share yet with Miss Dixon. I do not want to see it yet. Too many emails. Because on Wednesday, I'm going to be teaching you how to write your paper. Then after you're done writing your paper, like we saw last week, you're going to go through your checklist to make sure that you have all of the items for your paper to be successful. When you are done writing your paper, please share with your teacher by Sunday, December 20th. Now, if you are having problems when you're at home, after we're done with this lesson, and you're working on slide 5 that is due on Wednesday, but you're not sharing it, you're just going to have it ready, you can go and look at what I did. So I just want to share with you what I did, but I do not want you to copy this word for word from mine. I really want you to be thinking about your opinion. But my opinion is I feel it is necessary for kids to have phones. That is my opinion. My linking word was I used first, no landlines. So at my home, there's no more landlines. Now my children, I just want you to all know this, did not get cell phones until they were 12 years old. And even when they were in high school, I want you to know this, even when they were in high school, when it was time for bed, they had to give me their cell phone before they went to bed. So I set a lot of rules and parameters as a parent to give them that cell phone. So first, no landlines. It's very rare. And so my example is about landlines, easy access to parents article. Here was the article, and I gave the example about not having landlines. Then my next one, my linking word was additionally. My reason 2 was it helps parents locate lost children. And then I gave some examples. Then my third reason, my linking word was last. Here was my reason, help kids be more responsible. Then I gave an example. I would like you today, right after this lesson, to go and choose your opinion, write your 3 reasons, don't forget about those linking words, and then your example. Now, on Wednesday, Miss Dixon is going to be asking for some of you to share your screen and share some of your slide 5s on what your opinion is and what your reasons are. Then do not forget your concluding sentence, and that's just restating your opinion. I believe parents should consider the benefits of children having a phone. Then I do not want you doing this today or tomorrow, but then I have my final paper written there. You can feel free to look over it if you would like. All right. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'm going to stop this video. If you have questions for your teacher, please ask. And like I said again, here are some. You can go back to this slide that gives you some help with some of the linking words. And you can reread these 2 articles. Today you are completing this and you are not sharing it, but it needs to be done by Wednesday. Enjoy your paper. If you have questions, please ask your teacher. Thank you.